So just a quick video to show you how I ended up winning 2 Division 1 titles in a row. Not my hardest ones, to be fair, and this first title was properly gifted. All the players were pretty poor quality, Division 2, Division 3, even a couple of Division 4 players were in there. These are just a couple of the goals I scored on the way through, so absolutely not too much of a struggle. Nice little chip ball through there from El Unice. Griffiths just tucks it away, lovely. But yeah, not much of a feat, and at the end it was absolutely gifted with a bit of a bug out as well. But you know, you've got to take them, I suppose. So yep, against this German mob here, a nice little touch in, and Eddie takes it first time. Fulham here up next for the chopping block. I love the little ball over the top and this little touch to the side by Griffiths, and then just gently rolls it into the bottom corner, makes the keeper look a bit silly, but we shall take it. And then this was the final game against Stuttgart, and again started off alright, played pretty well, got the opening goal I think through Griffiths, not El Unice. He just knocks it home here. And then about, 12 minutes into the match, just quits out or loses connection, gives me the 3 points and the title. So, a poor one, but 8 wins in the trot I suppose. So against Celtic, Standard Liège, Stade de Reims was the 4th win, AU was the 5th one, couple of wins against Fulham, and then that last one against Stuttgart. So, can't complain. We'll take the victory, and looking good on the old record. 239 wins and 100 losses. And a look in the trophy cabinet tells you we have the Division 1 title for the 5th time, so I'll take it. So moving on to next season, again just a couple of clips of the goals against some of the teams. Definitely a much harder level of competition this time. There was a good 3, maybe 4 Division 1 title winners. I actually lost the first match of the season against a player who had a record of 214 wins and only 24 losses, but then won all the rest of the games, which was kind of bizarre, but again, take it. Some really tough games in here, not this one necessarily against Legia. So some tough games and some mental games. So this one was a last minute winner to beat this guy, and he was a proper clown throughout it, so I had to rub it in a little bit at the end. French Eddie doing the business, and fairly happy with that one, my man, good man. Red Bull, I think this was a fairly standard win, but a nice little Jenkins save from Eddie and a cracking little finish into the corner. And then against Newcastle, again fairly standard, but McGregor wins the ball well. Forrest knocks it inside and looks for the return and gets it. And that man Griffiths is making the run. Can he find him? And that's another great wee finish into the corner from Griffiths. And then West Brom, this guy was decent, but I think they edged him out maybe a couple of goals to nil. But this was a lovely little driven finish from Forrest into the corner. But on to this crazy match. So this goal here, when he scored it, this was his 2nd goal to put him 2-0 up within about 9 minutes. So I'm thinking that my title run is going to be in a bit of danger. So yep, 2-0 up within 9 minutes, and then he goes and scores a 3rd. So he's 3-0 up at this time. I'm thinking I need to quit out, but for some reason I just keep on playing the game, and I pull it back to 3-1 here with a bit of a rebound, but you're not going to pass him up. So 3-1, and then still in the first half he does this and he makes it 4-1. So I'm thinking I'm completely out of it, but again keep playing for a little while, and then comes across to him and knocks it home for 4-2. So 4-2 down. Looking for a little touch through here. It goes through to French Eddie, and he knocks it in for 4-3. This is still the first half. So we've pulled it back to 4-3, and then still in the first half, the very last dying minute of the half, Ryan Christie knocks that to be 4-all. So 4-all, and then the second half I actually come forward and Griffiths knocks it home to put us 5-4 in front, pretty unbelievably. So 5-4 in front, but I think after about 87 minutes, completely gutted, he knocks it in, does this little slide, knocks it over Forster's leg, and makes it 5-all. So I'm thinking, well, at least I've got a point, but 90 minutes gone, he total panics for some reason. Usually I'm the one doing that sort of weird stuff, but gives it straight to Griffiths, and he pops it in the net for a 90th minute 6-5 winner. I'm very happy with that one. So I had a couple of games to play, just needed a few points to win it. Needs to win out of 2 matches, but I come up against Genk. And very similar to the last season's final game. Play decent, start playing alright against him. French Eddie comes inside, jinks a little bit, gets a break of the ball here, and it falls to Christie, I think, and he knocks it home. So good start. And then 20 minutes in, just playing against him, normal, looking for a wee opening, and he quits out. Total inexplicable again. I needed the 3 points, I'm gifted the 3 points, gifted another title. It was a lot harder, to be fair, the other games, but a weird way to finish it. But there again, the record is decent. I think that's actually 3 titles on the spin now in each season. But yeah, against first game I lost that one, then beat Legia, beat Southampton 4-3, beat Salzburg, Newcastle as well, edged out West Brom, Salzburg again, that mental game against Sporting, and then that weird one in Genk where he just sort of quit out. So again, beggars can't be choosers, you can only beat the people in front of you, I suppose. Record's looking good, and we can confirm that the 6th title is resting in the trophy cabinet. Thank you.